later once this machine cool downs. Alright guys, so I will be wondering, I know you will be wondering that I had came this out. The main thing is that I need to add a brake caliper over here, and the rim which I was having was a tiny bit small, so that's what I have to make the dish a little bit further ahead so that I could mount the disc brake over here. That's what it came up that much, and because of this I need to center up the point with this, so that's what it came over that far ahead, the bushings. But first I'm going to start with the bottom up and see how it turns out. Alright guys, so I made the bushings off camera, and yes, I have made a tiny bit of mistake, because of which I am just struggling to get them inside over here. So the pipe which I used to get sizing was this, but unfortunately I ended up with this pipe, so I had to go with some more thicker wall. So to get, I've just made it, but the thing is that this bush does not fit over here. It only fits in this pipe. It just goes tiny bit tight, but over here it does not fit. So I have to just redo all the bushings. Like I'm just using a grinder or a drill machine to get this bushing, like somewhat reduce the size, because I cannot just take it to the lathe and again cut it out to the exact size. So unfortunately I have to do it manually outside the lathe. Let me just turn on the fan and the AC, because I'm just sweating out here right now. Guys, I don't know what the hell I'm doing over here, but I made a huge mistake over here, and to correct that thing means I have to get this thing all out and readjust the gearbox and the engine and the arms, and everything needs to be readjusted. Now the problem over here is just this. Now because of this bearing, this isn't touching the ground. The hub assembly isn't touching the ground, so it is just around 2 inches off the ground now, and the ride height is about 8 inches. So the center point of the axle is just around 1 inch low. So according to the calculation, the ride height will just go more 2 inches with this setup over here. So it will come around 10 inches, but in the dunes I don't think so 10 inches is enough. I need to have around maybe 12-13 inches of ground clearance, so that I don't end up on a hill like this, flexible. So to do that means I have to move this gearbox a little bit down, so this axle should be as much closer to the pipe over here. So that means you all got it. I need to move out this gearbox, cut off the tabs, the pipes and everything, and redo the complete engine gearbox mount, and then move on to the the axles and all. 3 hours and 3 to 4 hours of spending time on this, and yes, wasting too much of tubing. I finally got it right. Still a tiny bit of mistake is there. The tire isn't straight, it is just in from the top, maybe because of the play in the pipe in the body, it's crashing. So I don't know exactly. So we'll just I can adjust it over on this pipe. I can just push this pipe a little bit outer so that this will be straightened, or else I can just have to make them a tiny bit small to just give it a straight look. But for now it's working fine. Now you can see it's not going to come that much, it needs to go a little bit down more, but yes, it is going to be maximum this much. Maximum is going to be this much, and it's going to go down like about 1 or 2 inches. It will go down, that's it, before it hits over here. Finally guys, we got the rear suspension, the rear arms done. I had to go with one side bushing because of the gearbox. It is taking 2 out from this side, and even that side it wasn't taking out too much, but from this side it was taking out too much, and even the starter is just nearly close to this arms, but still there is plenty gap enough for this thing to work, and yet it turned out amazing. There is still a tiny bit of fault on that side. I need to correct that thing, but first I need to get the bearing for the other side, then I'm going to correct it out. The tire isn't straight at all, so it is just from the top, it's just inside a little bit, tiny bit, not too much. So we'll just figure it out in the later videos. And yes, these are the shocks which I'm going to use for the rear end. But yes, I'm sweating over here. Really, it's too hot over here. The fan and the AC and everything is closed because it's too noisy in the video, so that's what. So here are the shocks. These are the shocks which I'm going to use for the rear end. I don't know where exactly I'm going to place it, from the bottom or from the top. I need to figure it out. Like, it should look good, and yes, they are adjustable, but I didn't bought that. The other spring was missing over here, the small spring. I need to get that. I'll get that later on, but these shocks are going to work for the rear end. I have to make it work, and yes, they are adjustable. Like the shock, the pressing, it should be hard or strong, they are adjustable. So these are the shocks I just bought from the scrapyard. And yeah, we are pretty much done with the rear end. So hopefully in the next video we'll just jump over to the front and figure out a way to get all the arms done and the steering and everything. And yes, I know guys, I have been busy with other stuff, so that's what did this video took too long to get built up. But today was the day off, so I just built out the rear end from morning 7 o'clock till now the 10 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock, so I have just completed out. Still there is welding to be done, but I'll do that later on. But now it's working perfect. So hopefully you enjoyed my video. If you enjoyed it, please hit that subscribe button below and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss out any of my videos. Thank you guys for watching and have a great day. Whoa, I had burned my hair over here. You can see over here. Right guys, so while bending up the thicker tubing, and this happened over here. Let me just give you a clear look. This happened. The welding didn't broke out, but the tube which I used over here just started to cut out, and even it is just completely bended out. You can see it is just spinned over here like this completely. I just built this temporary long before, and now it worked till now, but now it just broke it out. So I don't have time to get it done perfectly, so I'm just going to straighten this thing up and weld it and use it again. So later on I'll just replace this piece of metal with some stronger metal, thicker metal.